my dryer. Okay, it's kind of loud here. But I have had a lot of questions from you who are doing the sugar free challenge with me about, oh my gosh, Rachel, what is like, where are the hidden sugars? And first of all, I don't want you to panic or stress out about this, but instead, my goal for you is to educate yourself. And yes, we're committing to 7 days without sugar. Now, do you think that maybe you might eat something that has sugar in it and not know it? Probably, maybe a little bit. But my number one tip for you guys always is to eat as many whole forms of food as you can. What do I mean by whole forms? I'm talking about like avocados, lemons, oranges, meat, protein, vegetables, sweet potatoes, things like that, right? Those are whole forms. I call them, obviously God's foods, right? So if you're eating whole forms of food, there is no ingredient label. You don't have to read a label to see what's in it, right? But marketing and manufacturers since in the last 50, 60 years have gotten really, really good at hiding sugars in foods. Now, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because they know that sugar is addictive, and the more sugar you get, the more that your body wants it. So they can hide sugars in their foods. They're going to get you to buy their foods more, right? It's just plain and simple. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It's just the facts, right? So I want to show you guys some examples of hidden sugars, even in foods that you might consider healthy because they're marketed that way, right? And they're not always hidden. They're right there on the ingredient label, but you may buy something thinking this is a healthier version, but it does still have sugar. So for example, this is, it says natural, no stir, creamy peanut butter. Okay. So natural right away makes you think it's going to be probably the best version of peanut butter that I can buy. But if you go back and you look at the ingredient list, the second ingredient is sugar and then palm oil, which is not really that great. I do buy this for the boys. Maybe I should stop. But anyways, if you look at the ingredients, like read what's in it, and they're listed in order of which ones are in there the most. So the number one ingredient is roasted peanuts. So the majority of this is peanuts. Then sugar is the next ingredient, which means it has a lot of sugar in it. Palm oil and sea salt. Now, when you are buying a nut butter, you basically want the ingredients to be the nut and salt, and that's it. Okay. So the almond butter that Matt and I use, it's just almonds and salt. That's all that's in there. Okay. So that's just an example. And then you can also look at the the nutrition facts. So look at carbohydrates, but look at total sugars. It says total sugars is 3 grams. Not super high, but it does have sugar in it. And now it's up to you this week on what you're going to cut out. I definitely want you cut out processed refined sugars like sweets and treats and things like that. But if you want to educate yourself some more, start to read your labels. Another commonly used food that we eat a lot that has a good bit of sugar in it is ketchup. This ketchup in 1 tablespoon, that's not a lot of ketchup, 1 tablespoon has 4 grams of sugar. All right. And it is listed on here. It has, so this is kind of like, it doesn't say sugar on the ingredients, but it's high fructose corn syrup and corn syrup. All right. So syrup, if it says syrup, it's sugar on the ingredient list. Yogurt is something that you may not realize that you are consuming massive amounts of sugar. This small cup of yogurt has 15 grams of sugar in it. That's a lot of sugar. So if you are looking for yogurts that you want to eat, if you like yogurt, look for yogurts that use stevia. Stevia is probably one of the more accepted forms of artificial sugar. It's not really artificial, it's natural, but a sugar replacement. And stevia is what's in your Shakeology and things like that. So it's good. Granola bars. This has so much sugar in it. So much sugar. I know we grew up eating these. I always thought I was eating healthy, but if you look at the ingredients, the second ingredient is sugar. And then if you keep going, it has brown sugar syrup and some other things. So this has a lot, it has 11 grams of sugar in this bar right here. So that's a lot. And your body does become addicted to it. And we're going to talk a little bit later in the week about like what actually happens when you put sugar into your body. What does your liver do with that? And how does it lead to weight gain, right? So those are just a couple of examples. Definitely look at your ingredients, what you're reading. Stick to whole foods this week: apples, oranges, nuts, eggs, proteins, whole, you can roast whole vegetables in olive oil and sea salt and things like that. And then you don't even have to worry about the ingredients, and you can season. Let's see. So I said ketchup had a lot of sugar in it. What are some things you can season with? Let's see. I like Bragg's liquid aminos. It's like soy sauce, but it's a plant-based one. And then obviously hot sauce. Hot sauce is good. If you use mayonnaise, just use one of the olive oil bases or avocado bases. Mustard is a great thing to season with. So there are lots of ways to make your food flavorful without adding all the extra sugar. All right. So I hope that helps. If you have questions, definitely respond.